Storyline happening. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, continues its tell-all on TLC on Sundays at 8 p.m. ET. Assuming Forrest had previously visited the Philippines to see Sheena and her family before the 90 Day Fiancé spin-off, it completely upends the entire storyline. Not only would Forrest know exactly who her parents are and what they do for a living, but I presume his mother would as well. More on 90 Day Fiancé. Courtney and Colt in the hospital. 90 Day Fiancé justified its own logic with new cast announcement for the Single Life Season 5. Additionally, Sheena's parents would likely know about Forrest being unemployed. It's hard to imagine how any of this storyline is authentic beyond it being the first time that his mother met her family. Obviously, we can't say with explicit certainty that 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 days faked this storyline, but the evidence presented feels pretty damning. If there's any small comfort in all parties involved putting on a show for the camera, perhaps this means that Forrest and his mom aren't that casual about discussing sex. I'm going to go ahead and believe that's true, just for my own sake, but personally, I think I'm going to take the rest of this storyline with a grain of salt unless we get some explanation. Sean Robinson on 90 Day Fiancé and #039's Tell All. 2. 90 Day Fiancé. The Other Way had one couple seemingly split, and I'm not surprised by their current status. Stig in the car with Aviva. 3. 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Days latest EP had me questioning Stig the artist's fame, a Belizean weighed in. Trending. 2026 Academy Award nominations. New 2026 movies. 2026 TV schedule. The best movies of 2025, according to Cinema Blend. Upcoming horror movies. Upcoming Marvel movies. Television. Why it seems like a 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 Days couple might be lying about their storyline. News. By Mick Joest published 2 days ago. This changes everything. When you purchase through links on our site, we may earn an affiliate commission. Here's how it works. Sheena and Forrest looking lovingly into each other and #039's eyes. Image credit. TLC. Share. 0. 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Days is my favorite reality television show on the 2026 TV schedule, so it's breaking my heart to hear the latest allegation that the 90 Day Fiancé spin-off might have faked a storyline. Fans and even former cast members have accused the TLC series of fakery over the years, and it's rearing its head again with a couple I didn't suspect. Forrest Atwood Mackenzie and Sheena have been favorites of mine since the season premiere, and their ongoing storyline of her allegedly being forced to give her family money has captivated me with every reveal. As mentioned, however, there's some evidence that the entire storyline might be a ruse. If true, I can't help but wonder how much of this is legitimate if the couple met long before cameras ever started rolling. There are photos suggesting Forrest and Sheena met long before the show ever filmed. Starcasm has found photos posted by Sheena's parents, the same ones Forrest was shocked to learn were wealthy, that he spent Christmas with them at the bed and breakfast in the Philippines back in 2023. The post is no longer up on the B&B Instagram page, but other 90 Day Fiancé insider accounts posted screenshots of the photos as well. Latest videos from Cinema Blend. You may like Forrest wearing his cowboy hat in 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 days. After 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 days finally introduces Sheena's parents, I'm as shocked as Forrest. Forrest and Sheena, 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days finally showed Forrest's fiancée Sheena, but something doesn't add up to me. Sheena and Forrest looking lovingly into each other and #039's eyes. 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days is finally turning the tables by having Sheena confront Forrest, and I can't wait for the fireworks. Right now, a few theories are rolling around regarding these photos. The first is that Forrest and Sheena lied about their storyline to get on television, with the second being that producers concocted a storyline to make them more compelling, and everyone played along. The third option is that 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 days filmed this storyline in 2023, though some have already pointed out that a calendar in an episode clearly showed the season was filmed in 2025. Advertisement. Forrest traveling to the Philippines before the show filmed reshapes this entire storyline. Assuming Forrest had previously visited the Philippines to see Sheena and her family before the 90 Day Fiancé spin-off, it completely upends the entire storyline. Not only would Forrest know exactly who her parents are and what they do for a living, but I presume his mother would as well. More on 90 Day Fiancé. Courtney and Colt in the hospital. 90 Day Fiancé justified its own logic with new cast announcement for the Single Life Season 5. Advertisement. Additionally, Sheena's parents would likely know about Forrest being unemployed. It's hard to imagine how any of this storyline is authentic beyond it being the first time that his mother met her family. Obviously, we can't say with explicit certainty that 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 days faked this storyline, but the evidence presented feels pretty damning. If there's any small comfort in all parties involved putting on a show for the camera, perhaps this means that Forrest and his mom aren't that casual about discussing sex. I'm going to go ahead and believe that's true, just for my own sake, but personally, I think I'm going to take the rest of this storyline with a grain of salt unless we get some explanation. Advertisement. Cinema Blend Newsletter. Your email address. Contact me with news and offers from other future brands. Receive email from us on behalf of our trusted partners or sponsors. By submitting your information you agree to the terms and conditions and privacy policy and are aged 16 or over. HBO Max. Plans start from $10.99 a month. HBO Max. Plans start from $10.99 a month. HBO Max is the streaming home to the world of DC Comics, the DCU, DCEU, and classics as well as the many shows in the 90 Day Fiancé universe. Plans start at $10.99 a month basic with ads. An HBO Max subscription gives you access to thousands of movies, shows, documentaries, and more. View deal. 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days continues on TLC on Sundays at 8 p.m. ET. I'm not counting on any allegations being addressed when this series finally reaches the tell-all phase, but I would love an explanation from Sheena or Forrest at some point. 90 Day Fiancé's Gino Palazzolo finally shared his proof Jasmine Pineda cheated on him with Matt Branister, and my jaw is on the floor. Gino Palazzolo and Jasmine Pineda's marriage drama has dominated the 90 Day Fiancé news cycle since he first claimed she cheated on him with Matt Branister long before 90 Day, the last resort. Jasmine, meanwhile, has maintained she never cheated and that she never did anything more than work out with Matt prior to the open marriage agreement. Well, Gino's now posting receipts, and viewers seemingly have confirmation that his wife was lying not long after Jasmine publicly demanded a divorce from Gino and villainized him for accusing her of marriage fraud. The 90 Day Fiancé cast member has shared some pretty damning evidence that Matt and Jasmine were more than workout buddies. As a heads up to other reality stars trying to hide their infidelity, maybe don't go to the most magical place on earth on an outing. Gino posted photographic evidence of Jasmine cheating on him with Matt. 90 Day cast members on the last resort told Gino it seemed suspicious that Jasmine already had an open marriage partner lined up, and if the agreement was just about sex, it wouldn't matter who she picked. Jasmine insisted that wasn't the case, but now we have more than phone records her and Matt's relationship was more serious than she tried to claim. We'll say that Gino should have been suspicious about any business trip Jasmine would take, considering she hasn't had a job since she lived in Panama. As for the rest, I would guess that Matt paid for the trip to Disney World, as well as the hotel they stayed in. Unfortunately, the story gets worse from there. Not only was Jasmine with Matt at Disney World long before they ever appeared on 90 Day, the last resort to save their marriage, but the business trip was allegedly the same week as Gino's birthday. Think what makes me most upset is that, at this point, why does public perception matter to Jasmine? She has her new baby with Matt, and they're seemingly living a happy life together. Wouldn't it save her a lot of stress at this point just to admit that she cheated, and just move forward without paying Gino mind, rather than try to paint this whole alternative narrative? It comes off as vengeful or petty, and unless admitting to cheating would jeopardize her citizenship in the United States, I'm not sure why it has to continue. The 90 Day Fiancé star could save herself a lot of mental stress by just confessing to the affair, assuming that is indeed what happened. Then she can move on and continue to appear on the show with Matt. I don't see the harm in admitting it at this point,